Hello guys, my name is Noel and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. So if this is your first time here, please kindly subscribe to this channel. And I want to thank you guys, my subscribers. We are now over 6,000 subscribers. You guys are wonderful, and let's get to 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. And these guys are my organic supporters, those that believe in what I do. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate all of you that are my subscribers or my future subscribers. And for those of you who are liking, sharing my videos, you guys are wonderful. I appreciate all this, okay? From bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate. So, if this is your first time, my channel is just to help you access important information on how you can study abroad, especially in the European Union, at a very affordable tuition fees, okay? And remember, once you are informed, then you can make the right decision. So I'm combining my personal experience in this area, and of course with my intensive research skills, to bringing you guys this information, and I hope that you're gonna use them. Watch the video to the end, don't jump the videos, watch the end, and you're gonna find out what you need to make an informed decision, okay? And again, just as a disclaimer, I am not an immigration agent, I'm not a travel agent, I'm just helping you guys to understand how the process works. And once you do that, then you have the capacity to make this application by yourself. So my job is to empower you so that you can do this by yourself. It's about information. Information rules the world. What you know is what you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Okay? So I just I made a recent video recently about what you need to do before entering Luxembourg. For example, I made a video about the steps in applying for your temporary authorization to stay in Luxembourg. And the video is going to be online very soon, or it's already online, as the case may be. But now I'm going to talk about what you have to do after entering Luxembourg. There are two things here: what to do before entering Luxembourg, and then after you have entered the country, what do you have to do? Remember, your primary objective of coming to the country or anywhere as a student is for you to study. Now, because I'm talking about Luxembourg now, let's say you have applied for an admission at the University of Luxembourg because you have an intention to study. So make sure when you get to the country, that objective stays the same. Don't go there and begin to do something else. This is where the problem is. Make sure you are convinced about your goal. Make sure you are sure of your plans. Make sure you are not lying to yourself about what you want to do. As long as you are upright, you are sincere, you are consistent, and you can be trusted, then you're gonna excel. You're gonna achieve your goals. So when you come to a new country, your primary responsibility as a student is to study. If you're allowed to work, in the case of Luxembourg now, you can work for 15 hours per week during school session. And if you're under 27 years of age, you can work 40 hours during holidays per week. Now, this is the rule of the land. You have to obey the rule of the land. That is the terms and conditions of your visa. That's where it starts. And then your education has to be the first priority over anything, over even work. So make sure you stick to that. Avoid the wrong friends who are going to give you some advice, who have been in that country for years. Forget about those things. Any advice that is in contradiction to your goals or the right thing to do is useless. Any advice that is not in line with the rule of the land or that is against your own vision, aspiration as a person, it's not useful to you. So your goal must be to stick to your plan in terms of working so hard. What I mean working so hard, I mean your study now. Okay? Because when you graduate successfully, you're gonna have a work permit, and you can work full time. So why don't you just pay the price initially, work hard and do the right thing, and then you're gonna have enough time to work full time and then earn some money. The first thing first, finish your studies and work within the hours that the law allows you to do. So now, after entering the country, what do you have to do? A lot of people come into a new country, they have no idea about the rules of the land. They have no idea about immigration policies. And nobody is there to advise them or to tell them what to do. So they ignorantly make a lot of mistakes. And from day one, you start having problems and issues with your immigration status. You don't want that. So that's why I'm trying to let you know what to do after arriving Luxembourg, because I was a student at the University of Luxembourg. I studied there successfully, graduated successfully 2019, and I lived there, I worked there, so I have the experience. So I don't want you to make a mistake. Before I went to Luxembourg, I did my research, so I was very sure about what to expect and what to do. And I thank God I was there successfully, did my studies, and then with no issue. Because if you do the right thing, nobody will come for you. So now I'm trying to help you to understand what you need to do after arriving in the country to avoid having problems with your immigration status. Now, the first is declaration of arrival. Declaration of arrival. When entering Luxembourg territory, the third country national must hold valid travel documents, visa and passport where applicable, as well as your temporary authorization to stay, which was given to you before you left your country of origin. Don't forget that document. All this must be in your bag as you are traveling. Okay? They must make a declaration of arrival at the administration of the commune where they intend to establish residence within 3 days of arrival in Luxembourg. You arrived Luxembourg today. Within 3 days of your arrival, you have to declare your arrival at the commune. Commune is like a local authority. For example, when I was living in Luxembourg, I was living in a place, firstly I lived in a place called Obercon, which is like 5 minutes train. So, like I was saying, when I was in Luxembourg, I lived in a place called Obercon, so I think my commune was in Differdange. So once you arrive Luxembourg, go to the university, get your accommodation contract, and then you will know where your accommodation is, and then find a commune or local authority within that place and declare your arrival within 3 days. 3 days of arrival. And while going there, you have to present the following documents: a valid travel document, for example, your passport with visa in it, and your original temporary authorization to stay. That original temporary authorization to stay, and the valid proof of address, which the university will give you already. So get to university first, sign your contract, accommodation contract, and then collect that from them, because you have to present that when you will be declaring your arrival at the commune or local authority. Now, after that, the applicant receives a copy of the declaration of arrival as a receipt. A copy of the declaration of arrival together with the authorization to stay is valid as an authorization to study and an authorization to stay until the residence permit is issued. Okay? So they're going to give you a copy of declaration of arrival as a receipt. Okay? That copy with your authorization to stay is valid as an authorization to study and also as an authorization to stay until your resident permit is issued. Now after that, next thing to do, medical checkup. Medical checkup. A third country student must undergo a medical checkup for foreigners as soon as possible, which consists of 1. A medical examination by a doctor established in Luxembourg and authorized to work as a general practitioner or a practitioner specialized in internal medicine or pediatrics, and a tuberculosis TB screening performed at a medical analysis laboratory with a prescription from the doctor who performed the medical examination, or at the Health and Social Welfare League for any person aged 2 years and over. I think that's what I did during my time. Now, a tuberculosis screening using a tuberculin test at the Health and Social Welfare League for children aged between 2 months and 2 years. Now, after receiving the results of this examination, the health inspection of the Health Directorate will issue a medical certificate which will be sent to the General Department of Immigration to allow the residence permit application to be processed. So before you make your residence permit application, you must declare your arrival and then do your medical checkup. Everything is in step by step. Do not jump. First, go to university, sign your contract, declare your arrival, and then medical checkup. What is next? Residence permit application. There's a third thing. Third country students must submit an application for a residence permit for third country students to the General Department of Immigration within 3 months of arrival in Luxembourg. Within 3 months of your arrival in Luxembourg, you must apply for your residence permit. It's just a card, okay? Because that's a long-term permit for students, okay? Application for a residence permit must be submitted online using My Guichet. Can be, not must be, can be. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Application for residence permit can be submitted online using myguichet.lu, myguchet.lu, or by post using special form, which you're gonna see on the official website of the Department of Immigration. You can print out the form and apply your own manually. When I was in Luxembourg, I do apply manually. Okay, so you can do that online by going to myguichet.lu or by post using the special form for that. Now, if you want to submit online, these are the things you have to do. The application for residence permit is available on myguichet.lu, myguichet.lu, if you want to apply online. The online procedure can be completed with authentication using a Lux Trust product, e.g. smart card, signing stick or token, or an electronic identity card, or without authentication. The application can also be submitted via the myguichet.lu mobile app. In order to do so, applicants must have a private e-space and link their private e-space with the myguichet.lu mobile app. The supporting documents indicated below must be attached to the online application. Okay? So if you want to submit online, I'm going to list supporting documents that I'm going to talk about for the application by post. You have to attach that then online. Now, if you want to submit by post, I mean for your residence permit application, this is what you have to pay attention to as well. If the application is submitted by post, the application form and the supporting documents listed hereafter must be sent to the Ministry of Home Affairs. Now, here are the supporting documents. So if you want to apply by post, you have to send them by post to the Ministry of Home Affairs. If you want to submit online, then you have to attach them online as well. Okay? So it's up to you what procedure you prefer. Now, supporting documents as follows for residence permit application, which you have to do within 3 months of arrival in Luxembourg. A copy of your passport in its entirety again. Proof of final enrollment in a higher education establishment. Enrollment certificate. Now, when you go to University of Luxembourg, once you arrive and you go to the SEVE, S-E-V-E, that's admission department or study department, they're going to ask for your visa D, your letter of authorization, and all those information, and your admission letter. They'll get those documents, and then they will enroll you officially. If you have paid your school fees, they're going to pay your school fees right there, whichever way. They will not enroll you officially when you are present there live. Now, after that, they're going to give you a certificate of enrollment. That's what you have to include when you apply for your residence permit. Not the admission offer you got from your home country. No, it's called enrollment certificate, which the university will give you after you have physically enrolled or registered at the university on your arrival. You have to include your passport in its entirety and then enrollment certificate. Also, a copy of the declaration of arrival established by the communal authority. I told you that once you arrive in Luxembourg, you have to declare your arrival within 3 days. Now, after declaring your arrival, they're going to give you a certificate of arrival, kind of declaration of arrival, copy of the receipt they'll give you at the commune. After you have done that, you need to also include that copy of declaration of arrival established by the commune authority where your residence, where you're residing. Okay, it has to be from your commune where you are residing. You also have to add proof of payment of a fee of 80 euro to account, which you're going to find on the website. So you have to also include a fee of 80 euro as part of your application documentation. So you have to show evidence that you have paid this money to the appropriate account, which you can find at the website of the Department of Immigration. When the application is approved, the applicant will receive a letter inviting them to make an appointment with the General Department of Immigration of the Ministry of Home Affairs in order to have their photograph and fingerprint taken, which will be incorporated into the residence permit. The applicant may also bring a recent photograph complying with OACI/ICAO standard, biometric passport standards. A few days after the biometric data has been collected or captured, the applicant can pick up the residence permit in person at General Department of Immigration by appointment. Everything by appointment. The residence permit takes the form of a chip card containing the biometric data, of course. The residence permit includes information about its holder, surname, first name, nationality, date and place of birth, as well as specific information about residence permit category, date of beginning, and end of validity of the permit. Okay? Certain residence permit categories include additional information in the field of observation. In the case of the student residence permit, the observation on the permit includes information on eligibility for work. So they're going to indicate your work status. How many hours you're supposed to work will be stated on the permit. So carrying out a paid activity, okay, as a student. The student is authorized to exercise. So the student is authorized to exercise a salaried activity limited to a maximum duration of an average of 15 hours per week over a period of 1 month outside the time spent studying. Okay, so you have to work 15 hours per week during study period. Okay, 15 hours per week. That's how many hours you have to work per week. This limitation does not apply to paid work carried out during school holidays, research work carried out in the higher education establishment or in an accredited research institute forming part of a doctorate program, employment contracts concluded by assistants of the University of Luxembourg. Also, I think you should know that if you are above 27 years, you cannot work more than 15 hours during holidays. This was stated at the University of Luxembourg website. The student can be hired on presentation of the residence permit for students. Before hiring a third country student, in case of a change of employment contract, the employer must send a written declaration to the Department of Immigration stating the corporate name of the employer. I mean, these ones are not really relevant things I have to say now. Just know that for this video, you should know that you can only work 15 hours per week during school session. Okay? 15 hours per week during school session. Now let's look at renewal procedure for your residence permit. Okay, before I go to that, let me talk about the validity period and renewal of your permit. So for how long does it gonna last before it expires? The residence permit is valid from the date of the declaration of arrival at the commune. It is renewable on request as long as the application conditions are met. The residence permit for students is valid either for a minimum of 1 year or only for the duration of the study cycle in the event the duration is shorter. Okay? If your study is more than 1 year, then you're going to have 1 year. Then you have to renew again after 1 year. Okay? But just make sure you renew your permit on time. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't do that. Renew weeks, months before the expiration. Okay? Please note, the residence permit for students contains its observation on eligibility for work. And also note, foreigners who intend to leave Luxembourg for a duration of more than 6 months must return their residence permit to the Minister of Home Affairs and make a declaration of departure at the administration of the commune where they resided. Of course, if you are a student in Luxembourg, why would you travel and stay for 6 months? That's unlikely. Okay, there's no reason for that. Renewal procedure. In order to renew a residence permit, third country national must apply to the General Department of Immigration within 2 months prior to the expiry date of the permit. You hear that? 2 months prior to expiration date, you can make your application. Do not wait till the last minute. Don't make that mistake. Applications for renewal can be made in the same way as for the initial residence permit application as I described earlier on. That is either online or by post. Okay? And the following documents must be included, whichever way you choose to make your application, either online or by post. You still have to enclose these documents. 1, a copy of your passport and in its entirety, all the pages, all of them. Proof of registration in higher education establishment. Parental authorization if you are under 18. Proof of sufficient resources to cover living and return travel costs. the following may be used as proof: the original document of the certificate of scholarship or student loan stating the amount and its duration, an original bank certificate and a bank statement for the past 6 months, again, attesting that the student has enough financial resources on their own account, or in case the student is supported by the parents, attesting that the student parents have enough financial resources and that they are financially solvent and capable to cover subsistence cost, medical and study cost for at least 1 year, that is 12 months, as well as return travel cost, or the original financial statement of support for the detention of the Luxembourg state and the student, signed by a sponsor of Luxembourgish nationality or staying legally in Luxembourg, and regarding subsistence cost, medical and study costs for at least 1 academic school year, as well as return travel cost established in the correct legal form. You can see this form online at the bottom of the page in the appropriate website. Okay, material advantages, again, granted to students, for example, free accommodation or work contract, maximum 15 hours per week, can also be taken into account. A recent extract of their Luxembourg criminal record, because you're not in Luxembourg, you have to go to the, I've forgotten the place now, but there's a particular place you go at the center, Luxembourg, where you can just, it's kind of very quickly, just within your passport, they'll give you a recent extract of your Luxembourg criminal record. Within 5 minutes, they'll give it to you. You need to also attach that. And of course, proof of payment of a fee of 80 euros to the appropriate account. These are the things you need to include in your application for the renewal of your residence permit in Luxembourg. So now I've told you what you need to do after arriving in Luxembourg. Firstly, declare your arrival at the commune where your residence is, where you're residing. Secondly, do your medical checkup. If you don't do that, they will not approve your application for residence permit. This is what you have to do first. Once you arrive in Luxembourg, go to the university and get your registered university, get your certificate of enrollment, get your accommodation contract. Then declare your arrival at the commune. Then do your medical checkup, and then within 3 months of arrival, apply for your residence permit in Luxembourg. And then, of course, don't forget to renew your permit 2 months prior to the expiry date. I hope this will help you to know what to do after you arrive in Luxembourg, so that you ensure that you don't break the law of the land and you stay according to the rules of your visa. Remember, I will always emphasize, your primary objective is to study. Make sure when you get there, you do not deviate from that. Make sure you take your studies seriously, make sure you attend classes regularly, and make sure you do well in your studies. If you do the right thing and stay out of trouble, you have enormous possibilities to achieve your goals in life. It's always good to be sincere, honest, hardworking, and consistent. Then you can achieve your goals. Remember, you have the power to bend reality and create your own future. Thank you for watching, and then subscribe, like, and share, and God bless you. Really good. Catch ya. Bye. Do you know that you can study abroad and pay as little as 200 euros per semester? Yes, 200 euros per semester. You don't have to break the bank to fulfill your goal or ambition of studying abroad. So visit my channel. You're gonna see videos of countries in the European Union Schengen zone where you can study and pay very low tuition fees, and even in some cases free of charge. I have videos across countries like Luxembourg, the Czech Republic, Belgium, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, and so many others. All you need is right information, and you can be able to do this thing yourself.
Remember, you have the power to bend reality and create your own future. Stop dreaming, stop thinking, start acting. Click on my channel, visit my YouTube channel and watch those videos. Like, subscribe, and then drop your questions. Together, we can make it. Come on, let's go.